Next one. The terrorist which was chained grumbled at the DSP who was taking him to prison. The terrorist which is a relative pronoun. Every relative pronoun refers to a noun that comes immediately before it. The noun that comes immediately before which is the terrorist. Terrorist means a person, which can be used to refer to everything except persons. That's the rule we discussed. So that is the error. It cannot be which, it must be who. There is in part B. Now we'll see whether the whole sentence is grammatically correct or wrong. The terrorist who was chained. Who is a relative pronoun. We're going to focus on the noun that comes immediately before it, the verb that comes immediately after it. The noun that comes immediately before who is terrorist, singular. So the verb that comes immediately after who must also be singular. The verb that comes immediately after who is was singular because of the S. So that concept is completely fine. Who was chained grumbled at the DSP who was taking him to prison. Who is a relative pronoun. The noun that comes immediately before who is the DSP. DSP means a person. Who can be used to refer to persons. That rule is completely fine. We're going to focus on the noun that comes immediately before who, the verb that comes immediately after who. The noun that comes immediately before who is DSP, singular. The verb that comes immediately after who is was, singular. So this is completely fine. The error is in part B. Getting it? So correct sentence must be the terrorist who was chained grumbled at the DSP who was taking him to prison. The next one. Yet, it's it. Yet is difficult to say who is the better of the two brothers. Now, if I give you two statements. Dash I'll write it here. Dash is your sister, question mark. Dash of the two girls is your sister, question mark. Dash is your sister, question mark. Dash of the two girls is your sister, question mark. The options are who, which. Come to the first one. I say which is your sister is a wrong usage. It must be who is your sister. Dash of the two girls is sister. I say in this case, in the second statement we have to use which. Which of the two girls is your sister? Now here understand the meaning. Two girls are there and between these two girls we want to find out the exact person. When we want to find out something or someone that is exact, we have to use which. Which is not a relative pronoun here, it is acting like an interrogative word. When we want to find out the exact person, exact thing, whatever it is, something that is very specific or very exact. When we want to find out the exact person, exact thing, we have to use which. Come to the second sentence once again. Dash of the two girls your sister means two girls are there. Between these two girls, exactly which person? Exactly which person? Which book? Which girl? Which pen? Which car? Which bus? All these are grammatically correct usages. When you want to find out the exact person or exact thing, we have to go for which. So who is your sister? Which of the two girls is your sister? Now come to the statement once again. Question number 32. It is difficult to say who is the better of the two brothers. So we have two brothers here, and between these two brothers, exactly which person is the better. That is the meaning. And exactly which person. If we want to find out the exact person or exact thing, we cannot use who, we have to use which. And this is not a relative pronoun here. If it is a relative pronoun, there will be a noun immediately before it. It is not a relative pronoun here, it is acting as an interrogative word. So it is difficult to say which is the better of the two brothers. I repeat, two brothers are there. Between these two persons, exactly which person. That's the meaning. So it is difficult to say which is the better of the two brothers. There is in part B. Understand the meaning, you will get the answer. The next one. The principal as well as the teachers has absented themselves from the office. Now, we have gone for the rule regarding the usage as well as in subject-verb agreement. as well as, along with, together with, in addition to, accompanied by, besides, give importance only to the first subject. The only subject that deserves importance is the first subject. The principal as well as the teachers as well as is there focus only on the first subject. The first subject here is the principal, which is singular. So the subject of this sentence is singular. The verb and the pronoun must also be singular. The principal as well as the teachers has. Has is a singular verb. Singular subject, singular verb. Up to here, no error. Has absented themselves. Themselves is a plural pronoun. That is the error. Here subject is singular. The verb is singular. The pronoun must also be singular. Themselves is a plural pronoun. It cannot be themselves. It must be himself or herself. Anything is fine. Because the principal can be a male or a female. The principal as well as the teachers has absented himself or herself from the office. The error in the statement is in part B. Getting it? Sounds incorrect but correct. The principal as well as the teachers has absented himself or herself. Anything is fine. Either of these two is fine. Both are fine in fact from the office. Come next one. Understand the meaning. Ours are the same problems that yours. Ours are the same problems that yours. The same that is wrong must be the same as. It is the same as that is the same as this. My book is the same as yours. Yours means your book. My car is the same as yours, your car, etc. So ours are the same problems. That is wrong. It must be as. The error is in part A. Now understand the meaning. Ours are the same problems as yours means your problems. That's the meaning. The meaning of yours is your problems. Instead of using the word problems again to avoid redundancy, we are saying yours. And the meaning of yours is your problems. So ours are the same problems as yours. The error is in part C. Clear? Come to the next one. The educational institutions of Patna are more expensive than that of Darbhanga. The meaning of this statement is the educational institutions of Patna are more expensive than the educational institutions of Darbhanga. That's the meaning. So this blank stands for the noun, the educational institutions. That's the meaning. If I say the educational institutions of Patna are more expensive than the educational institutions of Darbhanga, the sentence becomes grammatically wrong because of the concept of redundancy. The noun, the education institutions is used twice. So we'll use it once, the noun once. After that, when we refer to the noun, we go for a pronoun, and that is what a pronoun is for. The education institutions of Patna are more expensive than dash of Darbhanga. This blank stands for the noun educational institutions, which is a plural noun. Educational institutions is a plural noun. That is a singular pronoun. A singular pronoun cannot refer to a plural noun. That is the error. It cannot be that. It must be those. And those refers to educational institutions. Educational institutions is a plural noun. Those is a plural pronoun. The concept of pronoun adjustment now is completely fine. So the error is in part C. And the correct sentence must be the educational institutions of Patna are more expensive than those of Darbhanga, and those refers to the educational institutions of Darbhanga. Come next one. You and I have done my best in the examination. You and I means how many persons are here? 2 persons are here. The rule regarding and. You and I anyway cannot be the same person. You and I means there are 2 persons here. You and I have done my best. You and I means the subject here is plural. If the subject is plural, the verb and the pronoun must also be plural. You and I have done. Have is a plural verb. Completely fine. My best. My is a singular pronoun. That is the error. The error is in part B. It cannot be my best. 2 persons are here. So it must be our best. You and I have done our best in the examination. The subject is plural, the verb is plural, the pronoun is also plural, grammatically correct. In this statement, I and you is wrong. I told you this rule in subject-verb agreement. If it is a positive action, I must be mentioned after mentioning others. If it is a negative action, I must be mentioned before mentioning others. The action here is have done our best in the examination, positive. And as it is positive, I must be mentioned after mentioning others. So you and I become a correct usage. You and I is a correct usage. You and I becomes a correct usage. Clear? If the action is positive, so it must be you and I and not I and you. The next one. He says it is his problems, but you say it is your also. Now the meaning of this statement is, you say, he says it is his problems, but you say it is your problems also. That's the meaning, right? But you say it is your problems also. So your problems is not the same as your also. Your problems is the same as yours also. The same as in this sentence. Ours are the same problems as yours means your problems. Similarly, in this statement, he says it is his problems, but you say it is your problems also, and your problems is the same as yours, the same as in this statement. So the error is in part C, and the correct sentence must be, he says it is his problems, but you say it is yours also, and the meaning of yours is your problems. The error is in part C. Clear? Come to the next one. Each member and each worker has given their consent. Each member and each worker, I have given you similar examples while discussing subject-verb agreement. Even though and is there in this sentence, in this case, the rule regarding and is not applicable because we have the indefinite pronoun each. Whenever you find an indefinite pronoun sentence, I told you no other rule is applicable. No other rule is applicable. Just conclude that the subject of the sentence is singular. So in this statement, even though we have and, the rule regarding and is not applicable because of the indefinite pronoun each telling us that the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. So each member and each worker means the subject is singular. The verb and the pronoun must also be singular. Has given, has is a singular verb. Up to here, no error. Their consent, there is a plural pronoun, that is the error. It must be his or her consent. Now this sentence must be taken this way. Each member has given his consent. Similarly, each worker has given his consent. That is his consent. That is a way to take this statement. So each member and each worker has given his consent or her consent. Both are completely fine. Either of these two is fine. The error is in part C. So correct sentence is each worker, each member and each worker has given his consent. The next sounds incorrect but completely fine. Come to the next one. Your father does not like you going to movies. Your father does not like. Your father is singular. Does is a singular verb, completely fine. Then I told you it is always does plus B1 plural. Does not like is does plus B1 plural. That is also fine. So up to here, no error. Your father does not like you going to movies. Going is an ing word. There is no auxiliary verb in front of going. So going is not a verb here. Now if it is going, are going, am going, was going, were going, then I say going, then I can say going is a verb. There's no auxiliary verb in front of going, so going is not a verb here. I say that going is a noun here. Now we have discussed how to find out the noun in a sentence. To identify the noun in a sentence, we just need to ask the question what to the words given in the sentence. If you're getting the answer to the question what, that becomes a noun in the sentence. What doesn't your father like? What doesn't your father like? The answer is going to movies. If I ask you what doesn't your father like, the answer is going to movies. So we are getting the answer to the question what as going. So going becomes a noun here. Going is an ing word. An ing word acting as a noun is called a gerund. So going becomes a gerund, right? We have gone for this rule in the concept part. The pronoun that appears in front of a gerund must be in the possessive form. That's the rule we discussed. Any pronoun that comes before a gerund, in front of a gerund, must be in the possessive form. Going is an ing word, noun, gerund, and in this sentence, we have a pronoun in front of the gerund. That pronoun must be in the possessive form. You is not possessive. You is both subjective and objective. We need a possessive pronoun here. That is the error. So the error is in part C. Now my question is, should it be your or yours? Both are possessive. Your and yours both are possessive. We have discussed this rule, when to use s and when not to use s with the possessive pronouns. When there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, no s with the pronoun. When there is no noun after the possessive pronoun, s with the pronoun. This is regarding when to use s, when not to use s with the possessive pronouns. Now come to the statement. Dash going to movies. This blank must be filled with a possessive pronoun. Do we have a noun after it? Yes. Going is a noun here. So we have a noun after the possessive pronoun. So no s with the pronoun. Yours is eliminated. The answer must be your. Your father does not like your going to movies. Sounds incorrect but correct. The next one. The director has ordered the teacher to let the students and I go in. To let the students and I go in, I told you earlier as well, the pronoun that appears after let must be in the objective form, and the best example is let's, let us. So we have let here, the pronoun that comes after it must be in the objective form. The director has ordered the teacher to let the students and I go in. I is a subjective pronoun, that is the error. We need an objective pronoun here. It must be me. The error is in part C. The director has ordered the teacher to let the students and me go in. Getting it? The next one. Rahul was present in the class, but Raman and I. The meaning of this statement is Rahul was present in the class, Raman and I were not present in the class. That is the meaning. I can say that this is the meaning of the statement because of the contrast indicator but. A contrast indicator must always connect two contradicting ideas. The idea before but is Rahul was present in the class. So idea after but must be Raman and I were not present in the class. That must be the meaning. Now, the idea before but is positive. Because Raman was present in the class is positive. So the idea after but undoubtedly must be negative. So Raman and I must be a negative idea. If it is a negative idea, I must be mentioned before mentioning others or after mentioning others? Before mentioning others. If it is a positive action, the I must be mentioned after mentioning others. If it is a negative action, I must be mentioned before mentioning others. Raman and I in this context is a wrong usage. The idea before but is positive, so undoubtedly the idea after but must be negative. So Raman and I must be a negative idea, and as it is a negative idea, it cannot be Raman and I, it must be I and Raman. So that is the answer. The error is in part C. Rahul was present in the class, but I and Raman. I and Raman means I and Raman were not present in the class, negative. And as it is a negative idea, it must be I and Raman and not Raman and I. That is in part C. As I told you, only if you think about all the concepts and all the topics, you can find out the errors. Come on, next one. The 5 sisters lived in Patna and they loved each other. The 5 sisters means, in this sentence, we have 5 entities. Each other can be used only when there are 2 entities. That is the error. It cannot be each other. It must be one another. We have discussed it earlier as well. We have 5 entities here, so it must be one another. The error in this statement is in part C. So the correct sentence must be, the 5 sisters lived in Patna and they loved one another. Come to the next one. The only book which you have purchased today is in demand nowadays. The only book means it is very specific, and as it is very specific, the relative pronoun we have to use is not which, we have to use that. The very, the same, the only, the superlative degree adjective is there, means it is very specific. As it is very specific, the relative pronoun that needs to be used is that. So only book that. So that is in part B. Now we'll check whether the rule regarding relative pronoun is completely fine or not. The only book which you has is a wrong usage. With you, the verb must always be plural. So you have is the correct usage. You have purchased today is in demand nowadays. There is in part B. We'll go for some questions on spotting the error. Sorry, sentence improvement. We have gone for spotting the error anyway. Sentence improvement. We'll see whether the given statement is grammatically correct or wrong. If it is wrong, we'll find out an option that makes it correct, that improves the statement. The man whom I thought was thoroughly honest proved to be a swindler. The man dash I thought, I keep a blank here. The man dash I thought was thoroughly honest proved to be a swindler. This blank refers to the man because it's a relative pronoun, whom. According to the sentence, the action related to the man is proved to be a swindler. We have gone for similar examples like this. I have given you many examples. The man who dash I thought was thoroughly honest proved to be a swindler. This blank refers to the man, and according to the statement, the action related to the man is the man proved to be a swindler. Now understand the meaning. The man proved to be a swindler means the man did the action, received the action. Proving is an action done by us and not received by us. So man proved to be a swindler means the man did the action. Doer means subject. Subject means it cannot be whom, it must be who. Based on that, option D is eliminated. Option C is eliminated. Option A is eliminated. Now we have only one option left, option B. Now we'll see whether option B is correct or not. The man who I thought was thoroughly honest proved to be a swindler. Who is referring to the man here? The action related to the man is proved to be a swindler. That means a man proved to be a swindler. The man did the action. Doer means subject. Subject means it must be who. Completely fine. The answer must be option B. Because of the single concept of relative pronouns, we have eliminated three options. A, C and D are eliminated. The answer is B. Come to C. The man to whom I thought. The man to whom I thought does not make any sense at all. Every sentence must say make sense, gone. The answer is Bombay. Come to the next one. Did their bus come on time? Understand the meaning? The meaning of this statement is the bus belongs to them. T-H-E-R-E, there, H-E-R-E here. Here and there refers to place. Here and there refer to place. So based on that, this one is eliminated. There is no place talked about here because both here and there refer to place. We are saying that the meaning of statement is the bus belongs to someone. Right. Based on that, option D is eliminated. Come to option A. Theirs, T-H-E-I-R apostrophe S. There is no usage in English like T-H-E-I-R apostrophe S, eliminated. Now we have two options left, their and theirs. Both are possessive pronouns. The bus belongs to someone or someone possesses the bus. Did dash bus, this blank must be filled with a possessive pronoun because their and theirs both are possessive pronouns. The rule we discussed earlier, when to use as, when not to use as with the possessive pronouns. When there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, no S with the pronoun. When there is no noun after the possessive pronoun, then S with the pronoun. We have a noun after the possessive pronoun, that is bus. And when there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, no S with the pronoun. Based on that, theirs is eliminated. The answer must be there. Did their bus come on time? The bus belongs to them. Now I told you when to use apostrophe, when not to use apostrophe. When possessive case is shown using a pronoun, no apostrophe. When possessive case is shown using a noun, apostrophe. Right? But indefinite pronouns have an exception. Indefinite pronouns, and you know that. You know the list of indefinite pronouns. Everyone, everybody, everything, someone, somebody, something, anyone, anybody, no one, nobody. When we show possessive case with an indefinite pronoun, we use apostrophe. Everyone's house, everyone apostrophe S house, correct. Somebody's book, somebody apostrophe S, correct. No one's place, no one apostrophe S, place, correct. So when we show possessive case using indefinite pronoun, we have to use apostrophe. Come on, next one. He is the only man I know. He is the only man I know who can laugh at himself. The only man means very specific. And if it is very specific, the relative pronoun we have to use is that. Based on that, A is gone, B is gone, D is gone. The answer must be C. He is the only man that can laugh at himself. Whose cannot be used here. Whose is for possessive. Whose is a possessive pronoun. There's nothing possessive talked about here. And now, this blank refers to the man. The action related to the man in this statement is, the man can laugh at himself. The man can laugh at himself means the man is doing the action or receiving the action? Doing the action. Subject. Subject means it cannot be whom, eliminated. Who is fine, but as that is there, the better option here must be that. The next one. Myself, Rajesh Mehta. This is a commonly made mistake. Now every sentence must contain a verb. If there is no verb in a sentence, the sentence is grammatically wrong. Eliminate it then and there itself. Myself, Rajesh Mehta, full stop. Sentence. This is a sentence. Is there any verb here? There is no verb here. Every sentence must contain a verb. Based on that, option D is eliminated. Now come to A, myself. There is no such usage like myself's, eliminated. Myself is a wrong usage. There is no such usage. Answer must be I am Rajesh Mehta. I am Rajesh Mehta. The verb in the sentence is am. Am is an auxiliary verb, and in this sentence, I am Rajesh Mehta. Am is a linking verb because there is no main verb in this sentence. Getting it? Next one. We want the leader to be him who works for the people. We want the leader to be him who works for the people. So the leader works for the people. The leader works for the people means the leader does the action or receives the action. Does the action. Doer means subject. Subject means it must be the subjective form. Him is objective, eliminated. Come to A. We want the leader to be the leader who works for the poor. We want the leader to be the leader means it becomes set up with redundancy. The noun leader is used twice. Based on redundancy, option A is eliminated. We want the leader to be he who understands, who works. Does not make any sense, gone. The answer must be option C. We want the leader to be a person who works for the people. Who is a relative pronoun? The noun that comes immediately before who is a person, singular. The verb that comes immediately after who is works, singular. That concept is completely fine. A person, the leader is doing the action here. Doer means subject. Subject means it must be who. That is also completely fine. Now this sentence is grammatically correct. We want the leader to be a person who works for the people. Come on, next one. He, I, she and they have cooked the food. He is third person. Now first persons are I and we. What we discussed in subject verb agreement. First persons are I and we. Second person is you. Third persons are he, she, it, they. If it is a positive action, the order must be 2, 3, 1. Second person, third person, first person. If it is a negative action, the order must be 1, 2, 3. First person, second person, third person. What we have discussed, this is what we discussed in subject verb agreement. He, I, she and they have cooked the food. The action here is have cooked the food, positive. So the order must be 2, 3, 1. Second person, third person, first person. We want the answer to be in this order. Come to the given statement. He, I, she and they. He is third person. You should start with second person. 2, 3, 1. I is second person, first person. There itself eliminated. Come to option A. I, he. I is first person, eliminated. We want the order to be 2, 3, 1. Come to option B. They, I. They is third person, I is second person, eliminated. Come to option C. He, she, they and I. The second person is not given there in this sentence. As the second person is not there, the answer must be 3-1. The order must be 3-1. He is third person, she is third person, they is also third person, I is first person. The second person, you, is not talked about in the sentence. So we want the order to be 3-1 as the second person is not there. First one is, the given statement is eliminated because I is coming after he. It must be, I should come only after he, she, they. He, she and they. So based on that, given option is gone. Option D is eliminated. A is anyway gone. I is coming at the beginning. B is gone. I is coming between, after they, immediately after they. Come to option C. He, she, they and I. He, third person. She, third person. They, third person. I, first person. The answer must be C. 3-1. Now here, dash have cooked the food. The food is receiving the action here, object. Object comes at the beginning in the active voice. Have cooked is a verb here. So this blank must be the subject. So this sentence is in the active voice. The pronouns are acting as the subjects here. Active voice subject must be in the subjective form. He is subjective, she is subjective, they is subjective, I is subjective. That concept is completely fine. The only thing is there's an error with the order here. The answer must be option C. Man is the only animal who can talk. The only animal means very specific, and if it is very specific, the relative pronoun that we have to use is that. Based on that, D is eliminated, B is eliminated, A is eliminated. The answer must be option C. Man is the only animal that can talk. That is a relative pronoun. A relative pronoun that refers to a noun that comes immediately before it. That can be used to refer to persons, animals, objects, non-living things, in fact everything. The president has shaken hands with all the persons on the dais. Understand the meaning. The president has shaken hands with all the persons on the dais. Can he shake hands with all the persons at one time? No. Does not make any sense at all. Option D is eliminated. Come to A. The president has shaken hands with all. The same meaning, does not make sense, eliminated. Come to B. The president has shaken hands with each of the persons, correct? Yes. Each of the persons means one person at a time. One person, the other, it goes like that. Makes sense. Option B must be considered. Come to C. The person has shaken hands with some person, because that means some persons at a single time. Does not make sense. The answer must be option B. Every sentence must be grammatically correct, must make sense. The president has shaken hands with each of the persons on the dais. Each and every person on the dais. Come to the next one. He enjoyed at the party. I told you about the word enjoyed while discussing the rules on pronouns. When there's a mention about enjoyed, there must be mention about what we enjoyed. He enjoyed at the party. What he enjoyed, we cannot say at the party. Because he enjoyed at the party, what he enjoyed is not given there in the statement. Option D is eliminated. He did enjoy at the party. Now this part is given as the options. He enjoyed is the same as he did enjoy. He came is the same as he did come. I taught you the same as I did teach you. Did enjoy is did plus V1 plural, but what he enjoyed is not mentioned. Option A, eliminated. Come to option C. He enjoyed itself. Itself is for non-living things. He is a person, eliminated. The answer must be option B. He enjoyed himself at the party. I enjoyed myself at the party. You enjoyed yourself at the party, or yourselves at the party. Both are correct. She enjoyed herself at the party. We enjoyed ourselves at the party. They enjoyed themselves at the party. So he enjoyed himself at the party. The next one. You need to read these kinds of books for the test. This, that, these, those are termed as demonstrative pronouns. This and that are singular. These and those are plural. The noun along with this and that must also be singular. The noun along with these and those must also be plural. This and that are singular, so noun along with these two must be singular. These and those are plural, so noun along with these two must be plural. These kinds of books, correct. These is a plural pronoun, kinds is a plural noun, completely fine, must be considered. Leave it. Come to option A. These kind of books. These kind is a wrong usage. These kinds is a correct usage. Option A is gone. These is a plural noun, kind is a singular. These is a plural pronoun, kind is a singular noun, grammatically wrong. Come to option B. That kinds of books. That kinds is a wrong usage. That is a singular pronoun, kinds is a plural noun, eliminated. These kinds of a books, a and an are always used with singular countable nouns. Books is a plural noun, so a books is a wrong usage, eliminated. The given statement is grammatically correct. You need to read these kinds of books for the test. Come to next one. Gauri was waiting for Hema and I. For is a preposition. The third rule we discussed in the objective form. Any pronoun that appears after preposition must be in the objective form. I is a subjective pronoun. After a preposition, it cannot be a subjective pronoun. Option D is eliminated. Option C is also eliminated. Now we have two options left, A and B. Come to A. Gauri was waiting for Hema and me. Gauri were waiting for Hema and me. That's what option B says. Gauri is a singular subject. The verb must also be singular. Based on that, option B is gone. The answer must be option A. Gauri was waiting for Hema and me. After preposition, the pronoun is the objective form. Boundaries. Then, Gauri is doing the action here. Gauri was waiting means she is doing the action. Hema and me are receiving the action. Hema and dash. I keep a blank there. Gauri is doing the action. Gauri becomes a subject here. Was waiting for is a verb here. Hema and me, object here. The sentence is in the object, is in the active voice. Subject, verb, object is active. This blank is acting as the object here. The rule we discussed, in the active voice, the object must be in the objective form. Me is objective. There is another reason to say that it is me and not I. One should keep their word. Now, I should keep my word, you should keep your word, he should keep his word, she should keep her word, one should keep one's word. So, C, B, D eliminated, the answer must be A. I told you we can use one's only if the subject is one. So, these are we have gone for an exercise based on all the rules in the topic pronouns. So, go for the rules by heart, only then listen to this exercise. We have solved each and every option based only on the rules we discussed in that topic, in the topic pronouns. Getting it? Right. Thank you.